Hello and welcome to Edukemy's YouTube channel. My name is Harsh Singh, and in this video we shall cover one important previous year question that was asked by UPSC in the year 2019. This question might seem to be related to map discussion. The question is about the sea which is adjoining a particular country. However, how I look at this question is from the perspective of current affairs, from the perspective of all these places in news, and that is why these places were asked, right? UPSC has got the habit of asking questions relevant to the international institutions that got formed in that particular year, and then maybe some relevant places in conflict or in news and associating those places, nearby places, with it. So this time it had asked Adriatic Sea, Black Sea, Caspian Sea, Mediterranean Sea and Red Sea, and quite a few of them were in news that particular year itself. So while we try to answer this question, we will not only answer, we will also cover some important places which are in news. And this is where is Google Maps going to help all of us here. So right from west of Europe, we will cover to east of Asia. So beginning from the west of Europe, we are talking of Atlantic Ocean. We will cover the issue between Greece and Turkey, and then we will move ahead to Black Sea region, where Ukraine and Russia are having a fight amongst themselves, gaining naval supremacy. After that, we will understand what has happened in Afghanistan region, and because of that, some important places that could be in news. Not only that, we also have had the formation of an important institution named Abraham Accords. This was between Israel and some Gulf countries, and that is why this could again be asked. Not only that, moving slightly towards the east again, we have, all right, Africa first. Ethiopia is in news because it is constructing the Africa's largest dam, and therefore Ethiopia over the Nile River, Ethiopia, Sudan and Egypt again become in news, right? And we will also cover the all important Gulf region, right? Moving ahead slightly, we are talking of the formation of AUKUS, and because of this, Australia and USA, whatever is in this region, we will try to understand and decipher this through maps, right? So let us quickly start with the west of Europe, right? So getting back to the slide. Now, the west of Portugal is Atlantic Ocean. And right from Atlantic Ocean, if we want to enter Mediterranean Sea, we have to pass this small strait. This is called as the Strait of Gibraltar. This connects two different big water bodies, right? So this Gibraltar Strait, as we pass we come across a small sea called as Alboran Sea, just immediately after the Strait of Gibraltar. And then we enter the complete Mediterranean Sea region, and here are located some small seas which are of relevance. Now, two important peninsula, one is for Italy and the other one is the Greek peninsula. Now, the immediate left to Italy is one Tyrrhenian Sea, and right to it is Adriatic Sea. We also have an important sea here called as Aegean Sea, Adriatic and Aegean, and right here is Ionian Sea. So AIA, Adriatic, Ionian and Aegean Sea, and Greece is located between Ionian and Aegean Sea. Greek becomes important because Greece is having some conflicts with Turkey. Now both of them are in conflict because of some land border issues, because they are neighbors. Not only that, both the countries are trying to exploit as much as the exclusive economic zone, which is 200 nautical miles from their borders, and therefore they have conflicts here. Now Greece is trying to militarize and defend itself by taking some of the naval supremacy of France and having it shown in this area, and therefore Turkey is raising its alarms. Also, Turkey is very close to Pakistan, right? So Turkey, Saudi Arabia, Pakistan, they have an alliance with each other. Greece also has allied somehow with Israel and India as well. So you can see some alliance working, and because of this, UPSC might ask questions of the location of Greece. So we have Ionian Sea and we have one important sea which is Aegean Sea here. All of them are mentioned towards the left. Do remember Adriatic Sea here as well, right? Now, Croatia, Italy are located just aside this particular sea. We are talking of Adriatic Sea. And after that, we have Greece. Now, moving slightly towards the right, we are talking of the Black Sea region where there is a conflict between Russia and Ukraine, right? So we are talking of the Crimean Peninsula. This earlier belonged to Ukraine, and later it was annexed by Russia in the year 2014, and therefore this conflict. Now, you can very well see this particular small water body, this becomes very important. Why? Because this is the water body where Ukraine and Russia both share the water resources. Therefore, both have militarized this region. Extreme naval supremacy of both the countries is shown in this region, and Black Sea region becomes really important. This could be next area of skirmish between important powers around the world, because Ukraine is also assisted by, of course, somebody who does not like Russia. We are talking of USA. So this sea becomes important. Which is the sea? This sea is the Sea of Azov. Sea of Azov. Black Sea. And then we have an important country here. Again, the same country. We're talking of Turkey. Now, Turkey is located not only towards the west, it is also towards the east. So Turkey is a part of Europe, and Turkey is also a part of Asia as well. Now, this important place, this place again becomes prominent. Why? Because this important sea called as Sea of Marmara is located here, and we have two important straits here, right? So the first strait is called as the Strait of Bosphorus, Bosphorus Strait, and this is Strait of Dardanelles, right? So do remember Dardanelles Strait, Sea of Marmara, and Bosphorus Strait, after that Black Sea and Sea of Azov. This small strait is the Strait of Kerch, Kerch Strait, and that is why these places become very important. So Kerch Strait between two, which is what places? We are talking of the Crimean Peninsula and Russia. So let us quickly look at the border here. This is Russian border, and up to here exists Russian border, right? And this is Ukraine beyond this, right? So this region is Ukrainian region, and this region, this particular region, is the Russian region, right? So this is how we differentiate. You can right now see here Istanbul right at the border of west and east. So Istanbul is the one which connects west to east, and in 1453, when Constantinople was captured, this was the place which was captured, because of which the complete trade from west to east, it started to happen through the south of Africa, right? So that is why this place right now also becomes very relevant. Let me show to you all these places quickly on the map. Now here is where we are taking the help of Google Maps, and we are looking at the countries which are bordering Black Sea region. So Ukraine is one important country here. After that we have Russia. So Russia right from this area to here, and after that we have Georgia. North to south to Black Sea is Turkey, and west to it is Bulgaria and Romania, right? Do we have Moldova as well? No, Moldova is a landlocked country. So it is Ukraine which is again continuing till this border with Romania, right? So these are the countries which are bordering Black Sea region. Okay, moving slightly towards the west, now we are looking at the borders around Italy region, right? So we are looking at the Adriatic Sea. Adriatic Sea, to the west of it is Italy, a country which has got complete peninsula of itself. And then we have Croatia here bordering, right? Croatia is one country towards Adriatic Sea. It is not towards Aegean Sea, right? So remember Croatia towards the west. And then we have a part of Bosnia, a small part connecting to the Sea of Adriatic, right? And then Montenegro, Albania, and then Greece. Greece is not all the way, just like Italy is. Greece is only towards the edge. So remember Adriatic Sea, and after that it connects to Ionian Sea. This is where Greece is located, right? So this is how we try to connect what is in the maps. Now, in the first go itself, you will not be able to correlate. You might have to look at the video 2-3 times and look at the Google Maps. You will be able to find the regions. Now, we are moving towards the east. We are moving towards the issue in Afghanistan, right? Now, what is happening in Afghanistan is that Taliban has captured this place, right? Now, therefore, one important small corridor becomes very important. We are talking of Wakhan corridor. If you carefully look in the map here, this is the jewel of India. We are talking of the crown which is placed the region of Jammu Kashmir and Ladakh, right? And this small territory, this is Wakhan corridor. This is the one which is connecting Afghanistan to China, and it does separate Pakistan from Tajikistan. So this Wakhan corridor gains very much relevance during these times, right? Because these are important places of interest for all the countries in the region. A slight careful analysis here of Wakhan corridor. Does it link only to China, or does it also link to India? An important question. See, this is India. This is the territorial map of India, and the borders, these are the ones where Gilgit-Baltistan region connects to the mainland, right? So this is India, and we can very well see that Wakhan corridor links not only to China, Uyghur province, but also to India's Gilgit-Baltistan region, and this is a part of the Ladakh region, right? So this becomes very important to us, right? Separating Pakistan and Tajikistan on the other two sides. Now, Afghanistan, a quick understanding of the map of Afghanistan. Is Afghanistan a landlocked country or does it have marine borders as well? Yes, it is a landlocked country. So Pakistan is the one it is linked to, and then Iran on the other side, right? Turkmenistan on the northwest, and then we have Tajikistan and Uzbekistan. So let us quickly look at the countries which are associated with Afghanistan. We already understood it was China, and then we had India. It also links to Tajikistan, Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan, Iran, and then we have Pakistan. So many Central Asian countries also linking to Afghanistan. So it becomes an important hub, right? And this again brings us to the Central Asian countries. Now, have a look. There are 5 important Central Asian countries. They are Kazakhstan, and then we have Kyrgyzstan, 2 Ks, and then 1 U, Uzbekistan, and 2 T, Turkmenistan, and then Tajikistan, right? So K, U, and T. Cut. That's how I try to remember it. K on the top and on the side, and then U and 2 T's at the bottom. Turkmenistan is towards the Caspian Sea. Now, Caspian Sea region also becomes important, right? Now, this Caspian Sea region is the place which has been asked in UPSC exam, and it will be asked again very much possibly. So let us look at this region first. Now, since I am live on internet, therefore wherever I click, it shows that place in the map. Now, this is the Caspian Sea, and this is the Aral Sea. Aral Sea also is between 2 countries, Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan. Now, let us look at the countries which form border with the Caspian Sea. So, first of all, it is Kazakhstan, and then we have Russia here, right? We have Azerbaijan, and then to the south we have Iran, and then Turkmenistan. These are the countries which border. Does Uzbekistan border Caspian Sea? No, it does not, right? So these are some important countries which are bordering Caspian Sea. We also understood about Aral Sea here. Now, getting a little further to the south, we are talking of Middle East region. All the time in news, a hub of petroleum and gas reserves, and that is why this place is always in news, right? Now, this is also one place where a lot of marine exercises have started to happen by the countries in East Asia, South Asia, and Europe. So that therefore it becomes very relevant. Red Sea is something that always gets asked. This is where we have the canal. What canal is it? Suez Canal. And the ship was stuck here, right, just a few months back. Now, this is the Persian Gulf, Gulf of Oman, and this small region, what is it? It is again a strait, and this strait is called as the Strait of Hormuz, right? So, linking to this Iran, right? Now, next is Red Sea. We see Red Sea here, and then linking to the countries which are at the Horn of Africa. This is the place where sea pirates happen to loot ships, right? And this Red Sea links to Gulf of Aden via a small narrow channel. This strait is called as the Strait of Bab el-Mandab, right? So these are 6 important marine bodies: Red Sea, Gulf of Aden, Persian Gulf, Gulf of Oman, Strait of Hormuz, and Strait of Bab el-Mandab. Do remember them, right? Coming down a little further south, do remember these 4 countries at the Horn of Africa. We are talking of Eritrea, Djibouti, and Somalia and Ethiopia. Djibouti is very much relevant because China has got a naval center here now. China has associated itself with the navy of Djibouti, and therefore a very strategic point, a chokehold from where lot of marine transport would happen. So China has a strategic edge here, right? This region is also popular these days because of Ethiopia. Why? Because Ethiopia has built a dam on the river Nile, and then this building of dam right around Sudan border, it is restricting the flow of water along Nile. So Sudan and then down the river is Egypt. They all have some issues with it. Now, why is this in news? Because this is the largest dam of the complete African region. We are talking of the Great Renaissance Dam. So that is why very much in news this year. You can see this in this map very clearly. Red Sea, and the left of it is these important states. So we are talking of Egypt, and after that Sudan, and this is where the Blue Nile originates. This is Lake Tana in Ethiopia. We have another lake called as Lake Victoria, and this is where the other part of Nile, that is the White Nile, originates, and they meet and they form the complete Nile river, and they flow from Egypt. So this Blue Nile, this is the place just before the border that Ethiopia is building its own project. This is called as the Great Renaissance Dam, and because of this, the countries downstream, that means Sudan and then Egypt, have some issues. Why? Because it will restrict the flow of the river. So we have covered Grand Renaissance Dam. We have also covered Ethiopia, Djibouti, and Lake Tana. Lake Tana is the one which is the place for origination of the Blue Nile. Okay, moving ahead to the map of Southeast Asia. This has become very important because of the formation of AUKUS. Australia, UK, and USA. This alliance will be active in this region because the naval vessels, the nuclear powered submarines that Australia has purchased from USA, they will be active in this region. What is this region we are talking of? South China Sea, Philippines Sea, Celebes Sea, Java Sea, Banda Sea, Timor Sea, Arafura, Bismarck, and Solomon Sea. So that is why this region becomes very, very relevant and important. So let us quickly look at the important countries and places in this region. First of all, we are talking of an important country here, Indonesia. Indonesia is distributed in many small islands in this region. First important island is the island of Sumatra, and then we have island of Java. Island of Java locates the capital of Indonesia, Jakarta. Right, and the third island, this island is called as Borneo, out of which 3 countries are important here. In Borneo Island, we have the location of 3 countries. So one is Indonesia, and then we have Malaysia, and the third is the island of Brunei. So these 3 important countries are located in the island of Borneo. Now, Kalimantan is the part that belongs to Indonesia. So Kalimantan is the name given to that part of the island which belongs to Indonesia. So this is for one to remember. Now, important straits in the region. This is the Strait of Malacca. Malacca is a place in Malaysia. Malaysia is also distributed in a few islands, out of which one is the part of mainland, and this is where the capital Kuala Lumpur is. The edge is Singapore, and this important place is the Strait of Malacca, from where most of the trade happens. Now Thailand is also trying to build a small strait here, right here, but it will be constructed artificially. Right now, this important junction, this place is also a strait. This is called as Sunda Strait, important and relevant between 2 important islands of Indonesia. Right. Okay, moving ahead further east. Now we are talking of Celebes Sea. Look at its location. It is located east of Kalimantan, east of the Borneo Island, Celebes Sea. Right, another part of Indonesia. This is island of Sulawesi. Right, and east of it is Banda Sea. Right, so this is how you will remember it. Timor Sea is located just above Australia, and these are important locations around Australia. So let us have a look at the map very carefully. We are talking of Papua New Guinea. Now this is a part of not of Asia but of Australasia, and just aside it is Bismarck Sea, east to it is Solomon Sea, and west to it is Arafura Sea. So A, B and S in clockwise direction around Papua New Guinea. Right, half of this island is a part of Indonesia, and half of this island itself is part of a complete new country called as Papua New Guinea. Right, these are all located north of Australia. Now, this is another map where you can very clearly see where are the conflicts in the South China Sea region. Right, so this is the South China Sea region where we have some inland countries and some countries which have borders with marine areas. So this is the part of Malaysia, right, and this is the small country called as Brunei. Then we have Vietnam in blue. This country is Cambodia. This inland country is Laos. And this is the country which we call as Thailand, right? And this right here is Myanmar, right? So Myanmar is not involved. Thailand is not involved because it is towards the west. But however, we have complete involvement of countries like Vietnam and no involvement of Laos, at least in the marine sphere. Now, Philippines is definitely involved, and then we have parts of Malaysia and Brunei also involved in the conflict. Why? Because China has started to claim islands as far as islands which are very close to Malaysia. So Spratly Islands, look at this. They are very much close to the Borneo Islands. Look at Scarborough Shoal. They are very much close to Philippines. However, claimed by China. Similarly, Paracel Islands. Now, what China does is that China artificially creates the sand reefs at some places and starts to claim this area. This could be very near to another different country at all. And then 200 nautical miles from it will be China's territory. And then they start creating landing strips. They start also importing some vessels to this region. Not only vessels, but anti-aircraft guns will be placed at these places, and that is why whole of this area is in conflicts, right? So therefore, very much in news. You remember Paracel Islands, Scarborough Shoal, and Spratly Islands, right? So therefore, very much in news. Now, these islands that we have just discussed, these are amongst the largest islands in the world. The largest island around the world is the island of Greenland, and then we have New Guinea Island, the one we discussed right now. The third is Borneo Island. This is the largest in Asia. The fourth is Madagascar. Fifth is Baffin Island. This is a part of Canada. And then sixth again is the island of Sumatra. So you see, New Guinea is a part of Australasia. And then we have Borneo and Sumatra being a part of Asia. So in totality, we not only covered these specific places which were in news in 2019 and also some of them being in news in 2021, we also covered a lot of relevant places which are in news with respect to 2021. So a quick revision of them. Greek along with Turkey, we covered that. We covered Central Asia region, Afghanistan in relevance to the movement of USA from Afghanistan. We also covered the issues between Ukraine and Russia. Along with that, we understood about the Horn of Africa region. Along with that, moving east, we covered Middle East region. Why? Because Middle East region is known, is in popularity because of the Abraham Accords. Moving to further down southeast, we covered AUKUS and all the islands that are related to the China conflict. So this is how we are able to cover a lot of things which are in news with the help of maps, right? Current affairs, institutions, and maps. Now getting back to the question. The 5 options that we had was Adriatic Sea associated with Albania. The second one is Black Sea with Croatia. Third, Caspian Sea with Kazakhstan. Fourth, Mediterranean with Morocco. And fifth, Red Sea with Syria. So Red Sea completely out of question. So you can eliminate those options with 5 marked. Now we have left 1, 2, 4 and 1, 3, 4, right? If you remember carefully, I discussed that Caspian Sea is linked with Kazakhstan. So 1, 3 and 4 actually becomes the answer because 3 option does not exist in option A. So you can work this out through elimination if you do not know all the options. Of course, there are times when we might not know all the options because we have not, geographer, we have not studied everything about geography. So this is how you can work this out, right? It is very much possible that you might not be able to absorb the contents of this particular video, this particular map video in one go. And that is why I recommend you to watch it a couple of times. Also search through Google Maps, all these particular regions, try to zoom in and zoom out and see those specific land boundaries, see those boundaries between various countries or the region, that particular ocean or that particular strait that you find really important in that particular region. And this is how you will be able to probably get some idea about it and then eliminate answers, and 1 or 2 eliminations that will help you narrow down to your options, right? So this is how you will be able to crack those questions which are in current affairs and also relate to map. UPSC has the habit of asking these type of questions every now and then in the pre-examination. If you like this initiative, if you like our attempt, do shower some love on us through likes, comments, and shares. If you subscribe to the channel, you will receive timely updates. Thanks for watching.